you wanna kiki? Do you want to?
Do you wanna kiki? Do you wanna kiki? Cult Wannakiki, Cult Wannakiki, Cult Wannakiki, 1, 2, 3. Cult Wannakiki, Cult Wannakiki, Cult. Okay, that's enough.
Yeah.
Hey, have you bought our t-shirt yet? Seriously, go buy our t-shirt. It's gonna help us out. Just hit that QR code and you get it right now. Ooh, welcome to Cult Wannakiki. That's right. We're reviewing Camp Wannakiki, episode 5 of season 5. And I have my culty sister here with me. Say something. That's better. That's better. I just wanted to make sure she hadn't died underneath all that stuff. Okay, it's time to do the big reveal. Let's show who we are. Oh, reveal yourself, sister. Reveal yourself.
Hello, sister.
Hello, sister. Oh my gosh, it's Kitty Litter ATX.
Howdy, y'all. It's everybody's favorite Southern fried train wreck queen. How the hell you doing?
Honestly, you are my favorite Southern fried queen. I mean, there is no better queen than you, honestly. Like, you are.
Thank you. And I do come with country gravy.
Also, you might notice that Clinica Deprecious is not here. That's because they're really busy, but don't worry. We're going to give you a 1-minute rundown a little later in the episode. You're just going to have to wait for it. Right, Kitty?
Clinica worth waiting for, y'all.
Exactly. Oh, Kitty, how you been doing?
Oh, I've been doing all right. You know, I live in Texas, honey. So that's right up there with Florida in terms of how beloved we are by the community. But we just keeping our head up and getting through it. I literally just came off of like a gazillion pride festivals and whatnot. So in 100+ degree heat, it's been an adventure.
Ooh, and have you been enjoying the smoke blowing in from Canada?
Yeah, thanks a lot for that, honey. But that's all right, because I already smoke. You know, my drag name should have actually been Chimenea. So I'm okay with everything y'all sending our way.
My pussy's literally on fire.
Yeah, it is.
Before we get into the episode, which is Some Like It Hot, I'm dressed as Canadian Fire. Bleh. And you're just dressed hot, as usual. A hot grandma.
There's that. You know, I figure I already been roasted on your show, so I didn't need to do a roast interpretation. I don't know.
Yeah, we have to talk about the fact that you have been doing a Camp Wannakiki viewing show review for several years now. And you were going to start one, and then you were like, nope, Clinica and Hillary are doing it. I'm taking a break.
Real tea. Yeah, I just felt like y'all were already doing it. You were doing it better. So what was the point in having two? I get the fact that y'all have a lot of love for this show, and I appreciate and respect that you're paying homage to all these wonderful camp entertainers. So props to you on that.
I have to say, we're not doing it all better. The fountain of love that comes from Kitty Litter ATX is monumental. And you inspire me every day when I think about the stuff that you go through, stuff that you have been through, you know, in Texas, for example, my God. And just where you get your resilience from, because it's hard. I mean, even doing this show, I found it very hard being too critical. I got a lot of backlash on that. And I've had to kind of re-find a reason of why we're doing the show. And honest to God, thank you for coming on the show and just like spreading the love and reminding us all, why are we reviewing Camp Wannakiki? Because we're dumb idiots who like funny things.
Well, you know, Mama used to say, if you can't laugh at yourself, you might be missing out on the biggest joke of the decade. So an opinion show, folks, at the end of the day, if we all like the same things, what a boring world it would be. And as long as you opinions are expressed respectfully, then where's the problem,
All right. Well, do you want to get into the episode? There's lots to talk about.
Let's talk about it.
There's so much to talk about. This is a roast episode, like we were talking about. They are starting off this episode with an amazing sketch. They've been doing these really funny sketches.
They actually have.
I know. They're
amped up their camp with the writers. It's actually been funny and fun to watch.
Danger is getting roasted, literally. They're oiling up his behind, and they're putting him in the oven, and they're having a great time. Have you been able to touch Ranger Danger's behind yet?
Unfortunately, I can't say that I have.
So we're going to get into this roast. We actually do a roast episode. Have you done any comedy roasting, Miss Kitty?
On both sides of the podium. I do want to add one production note, and this is no shade to anybody, but I don't think that the height of that day did any of the performers any favors. And I'm going to tell you what I mean by that.
I agree.
Being somebody who does theater and whatnot, there's a thing called when you're on book and when you go off book or whatever. And once you're off book, then you're not so reliant on your notes or whatever.
Yeah.
If they just gave them that challenge that day, I say props to them because I think they did a pretty good job with what they were working with. But there were times when I kept seeing the tops of performers' heads because they were having to look down at their kneecaps to see the notes.
Like, I do think it was a bit of an afterthought in the credit sequence. Ruthie kind of was like, look at our podium, isn't it great? I'm like, no, it's horrible.
The other thing is, being somebody who loves comedy and does comedy, I kind of think maybe them doing it outdoors was not the best choice, only because acoustically, you're not catching all the laughter. It's drifting off into the wind. Almost would have liked to have seen them combine that with the runway, have them come out in their looks and straight up just be crazy, do their comedy thing,
or just do the roast. I thought it was very convoluted to be judging on both. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's what they did on my season, and on yours with Mirror Mirror. You did a comedy set in character, right?
Exactly. Which was it was. We got not only the campers that were still there, but also the eliminated campers who magically flew back and sat in the audience.
I do feel for them. I mean, number one, when I do comedy, I don't want to do it outside in broad daylight. And also, it was just a crowd of, your peers. I've done stand-up comedy open mics. That's the worst. That said, I don't think they were bad. I thought everyone really did well at this.
I laughed a lot. I found myself chuckling at some things that maybe other people didn't get. And I thought that all of them just brought a lot of joy.
I mean, we can talk about our standouts and
sure,
some of our less standouts, let's call them. Muffy Vanderbilt, I think, was really struggling. I don't think this is something that comes naturally to her.
I actually was surprised because I do find Muffy quite funny. I've seen some of her Facebook posts.
I agree.
And she's pretty hilarious, but I think sometimes the dividing line is whether you're able to improv or when you have to do it with the script, it's a little different for some folks.
And Dee Dee Comes-Well, I think, really struggled with the idea of a roast. I think she was being too nice.
I think she was nice, but I actually was there for the delivery. I thought she was very natural. She was walking around. She was doing hand gestures. She wasn't as stuck to the podium. I kind of was there for the delivery.
And we've got Avery, I thought was a joke machine as per usual. I thought that she doesn't connect super well with the audience, maybe, but that's kind of hard. I mean, it's a pretty hard situation in general.
Well, and I think she was the first one, yes?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of hard in itself because you're going out there cold and having to warm up these people who may or may not be ready for what you're going to throw at them.
I love her joke about Ruthie Keister just being a 5-year-old's version of Winifred Sanderson from memory. Rita Taro, I think, did a pretty solid job. I also love the shout out to Cult Wannakiki when she said that being at camp feels like a cult. I agree.
Yes.
I agree. I made a whole show about it. Then there's 2 more, Riley and Texas, Miss Texas.
Okay.
I thought both of them killed it. That Harriet Tubman joke, holy moly.
Riley was the one for me this episode. I think it was Riley's episode all the way around. This is Riley's house and we're all just guests in it. It was so, the jokes were so funny. The delivery was right on time. And of course, we'll get to the look later, but just all across the board, Riley just nailed it this week, I thought.
I agree. And I think underrated this week is Miss Texas. I thought the jokes were hilarious. The gags of turning into the Sugar Bakers.
Oh, that was hysterical. Oh, my God. When she bent down and then she comes up with the wig and the whole bit.
All right. So the talent show is Some Like It Hot. Before we get to the talent show, here with a quick 1-minute rundown of how they think it went, it is Clinica Deprecious.
Hi everyone, it's Clinica Deprecious. Sorry I couldn't be here this week. I was busy throwing giant Neapolitan ice creams from the clouds. Let's get into these looks. Riley Poppy Seed Crochet, you stay Pompeii, you slay. That may have been the best look of the franchise. 6 amps out of 5! Rita Taro didn't have to come out in anything else but the gimmicks and the gags. They just don't stop coming and they don't stop coming and they don't stop coming, and that makes her what? An all-star. 5 amps out of 5. Texas's look was such a risk in that it might have been hard to translate, might have been hard to look good, but she just manages to make trash look so critique every single time, and she's so goddamn cool. 5 amps out of 5. Wish that Muffy's concept maybe spread out to the rest of the body, maybe some popcorn on the shoes and the hair matching the popcorn color. However, she sold it, she had fun, and I love them. That bitch lets herself be silly. 4 amps out of 5. Tara, kind of similar to Ruth Bearded Ginsburg. I wish that all the labels were maybe placed more strategically as opposed to random. However, it was such a fun, goofy concept. But however, sriracha bottle caps are green. But I don't mind. It is 3 amps out of 5. Dee Dee's concept was so fun. I wish that maybe it had spread around to the rest of the body and maybe had more of a burlesque element to it. I think that could have been really cool. However, what she had from the neck up was absolutely immaculate. I will give it 3 amps, but it was so damn good. I don't really understand why they had to break the mold of the bottom 2 just to put Avery in the bottom 3 when they virtually liked everything that she presented. I think looking at it dead on, it absolutely gave the vibe of the runway, and I give it a 5 out of 5. Okay, Hillary, back to ya!
Ba da 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 boop ba.
So, first on the list is, of course, Avery Goodname, coming out as a melted ice cream. With the makeup also messed up just so perfectly, like it's melting. I was so happy to see that because I think Avery's makeup is so very distinct, clearly, that I'm glad that she's changing it and like altering it to the challenge. The one note I would definitely say is I don't know if it immediately comes across as ice cream. My husband was very confused what was happening. What do you think?
I actually did get ice cream from it, and I gave it an amp because until I heard the story that went with it. And I was kind of with the judges on that. I felt that the look was right had she just said, look, it's a hot day and I'm some melting ice cream, or I'm an ice cream cone gone wrong, or whatever. But the whole thing about the earthquake and this and that, and we went around the house and through the backyard and out the gate. I don't know. I was just kind of confused. I didn't feel like it would have just been simpler and made more sense to say, look, I'm a hot melting ice cream. She's way too deep. I just can't get, I'm a simple girl. I can't get into all these stories.
It's obvious. It's obvious it's melting ice cream. I need to talk about the earthquake that was also happening.
Let's talk global warming. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I gave it 4 actually, because Avery's, if I had to look at the combined between the stand-up routine and the look, I was there for the look. I almost even could have got a 5 for me, except for the fact that the story didn't really make sense in terms with the look.
I'm going to give it a 3. Because I think it's been her worst.
Yeah.
I think it's been her kind of, I hate to say it, but this has been her worst look so far. And it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I think it's just not her best. Got Muffy Vanderbilt III. And she's coming out as thing of popcorn. And she's selling this as some like it hot by saying that popcorn is hot and fresh and ready. And I think it's a bit of a stretch. I do love this outfit. I think this outfit, I mean, let's talk about it. This outfit is phenomenal. The popcorn with the typical Muffy silhouette, the foam pieces of popcorn that are painted perfectly, the beautiful Dolly Parton hair that is just like, I mean, it's beautiful. It's typical Muffy. It's so stunning. I think, though, it's just like, it's a bit of a stretch for me. This kind of like saying, this is your Some Like It Hot runway talent show. What do you think?
Well, popcorn can be hot. This is the thing with Muffy. I think that I know every week at this stage of the game that she's going to come out in something that looks immaculate. It looks expensive. It looks tailored. The makeup is always on point. And because her character is that pageant girl, child or whatever, that's part of the brand. I get that. But that being said, and this is no shade, I'd almost like to see a little messy Muffy. Like, maybe just mix it up a little bit, throw in a little smudge here and there. I don't know what.
I give her a solid 3 again, because I like the look. I want to rate it higher, but I just think there's this consistent, like, kind of missed the assignment thing.
Okay.
That's all.
So I kind of went with a 4, and I would have given it a 5, but if we're talking about the whole episode, that the stand-up was it had a few hiccups.
So moving on, we've got Dee Dee Comeswell, and she's coming out as this lady who's been roasting in the sun. She's all pasty white in this bathing suit, pretty simple, good shoes as per usual, and a big sun reflector with wonderful makeup as per usual, all red, sunburned with latex applied, so you've got peeling effect all over the place on the nose. And, of course, my favorite part, those hilarious Jennifer Coolidge sun tanning goggles that make everything look funny. This is really fun. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. I laughed a lot, and I have to say this was actually one of my favorites, only because of the fact that I come from that decade when they used to tell us that the sun was good for you. And so I have done the tanning beds. I have done the laid out by the pool thing. I have done the spray tans. You don't get this kind of leathery texture without some work going into it. I can tell you that I've had more aluminum foil wrapped around my head that I looked like a breakfast taco. So I appreciated what she was bringing. I laughed as soon as she came out on stage. Did I think it was simple in comparison to some of the other looks? Sure. But it did make me laugh, so goal achieved. And I went with 4 amps on this.
For me, I'm going to give Dee Dee 3 amps out of camp. So it's just, you know, her stand-up set wasn't the best and all kinds of stuff. I think she's just right in the middle of the road this week.
I'm all about the kind of retro fabulousness that's going on there. And the vintage, you know, I live for vintage because I am vintage. So I'm there for Dee Dee, you know.
We've got Tara Newhole coming out as chili sauce, a chili sauce gown, right down to the details. It's like got that specific Asian grocery store chili sauce kind of logo, and she's got some fun catchphrases on the back. She's wearing this giant hat that looks like a cap that's stoned to filth. Very classic Tara Newhole. I guess if I had a critique, it would be it didn't go anywhere. You know, she was a great hot sauce, but you know, all she did was just like the whole time, and I was like, okay, well, what's your gag? What's your talent? What where are you taking this? I don't know if she quite thought that one all the way through. What do you think?
Once again, the costume was just immaculate. The makeup was right. Tara always looks so great on the stage. But yeah, I think the story maybe just a little more amped up in some way to take it that extra level, or maybe an addition of some piece to the costume that would have brought it up. I don't know. It just was a little too, like the judges said, it was a little too on point as a parody of just the hot sauce.
I give it a solid 3 because she looks beautiful, stunning. She did a good stand-up comedy set. Right in the middle for me. 3 amps.
Yeah, I kind of went with a 3 too. I love you, Tara, and I did think this look was beautiful, but just could have used that little extra something to take it there.
Okay, speaking of spicy, we have one of the best looks that's ever been on Camp Wannakiki, hands down, period. Riley Poppy Seed coming out in a crocheted volcano with, I mean, I've seen some of the construction photos of this now with chicken wire to get this smoke effect going up from his head. Giant, like, parachute pants with, like, tulle ruffle coming out the bottom, like, giving steam. A grandpa mustache. The makeup is spot on, beautiful. Oh, wow. And it has such movement, such incredible movement. And he presented it so well because he started backwards, giving us this like lava scene. And he turns around and he's a happy volcano. It was wow. It was like a wow. Holy crap. Like, this is one of the best looks we've got ever, period.
I agreed. In all the seasons, when I saw this walk on the stage, it was a gag, a goop, and a gasp. I was just like, wow. Immediately got the reference, immediately got the presentation, just everything was right about this look. Who brings crochet to the stage at Camp Wannakiki? I lived. I was like, okay, go on, macrame. I'm here for it.
Did that just sitting alone in a room, just like slowly doing this. And I was like, wow, that's a lot of work. You just can't let Riley win, though. I mean, Clinica, Riley's best friend, just won. They can't both be winners.
Or can they?
Or can they?
As you know, it's like one week you might think you are slaying and serving, and the judges are like, and then there might be another week when you just are like, oh, I don't even want to walk out in this. And then they're like, that was the most fabulous thing ever. So you just don't know,
Yeah, I had those moments. Absolutely had those moments.
Same. I was like, yes, y'all better taste this. And they were like, no, we're on a diet. We really don't want that. And then there was other times when I really thought I was killing it. And they were like, okay, first of all, and secondly, and third, okay, I get it. You don't like it. Okay.
Yeah, I just didn't understand what they didn't like about a bunch of pride-colored swimsuits from Walmart. I was like, I look hot.
Especially now, you should have gotten it from Target. Then it could have been a political statement,
That's it. That was the problem. This is 5 out of 5 amps for Riley Poppy Seed's Volcano.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. 5 or 6 if we could give that. I mean, it just literally was that.
All right. He's getting a 6. We're giving him 2 6s. 2 6s, Riley.
We're gonna have to get holy water because 3 6s.
Seriously, it's gonna be a 3 6. And on Cult Wannakiki, that summons the devil, Ruthie Keister.
Holy crap! Wowie zowie! Riley Poppy Seed really knows how to melt my butter.
Ruthie's been summoned. Rita Taro is up next, coming out as a witch being burned at the stake, a gown that has the typical kind of flames leaping up the side. Something we've seen before potentially. She's got this crazy cross in behind with a rope corset. Yeah, it didn't look super interesting until she started going up to the sugar bakers and suggesting that they roast marshmallows on her, and it's Rita's roast. So the performance saved this for me. Go Rita Tarot thing of bribing the judges every week. I did it last week. She gave them cake. This week she's giving them marshmallows.
You know, I was here for this, and I'll tell you why. Rita has been one of those people that has stayed on brand the entire time. She started off telling you, this is my character, I'm this witch or whatever, and stuck to that, but in a way that was campy and funny. You know, so I was there. I will admit that I have, like you, I think I've seen this look before. Somebody maybe from another drag show did a look that literally had illuminated flames coming up this dress.
Jinx Monsoon just did it on All Stars 7.
And it was just, it was fire because it was. It was that kind of a thing. That being said, I did laugh at this. I thought the props were very smart. I liked the fact that it just tied into her whole thing. You know, I could see her. It took Salem, Massachusetts witches. It took fast food or whatever, the barbecue thing, just all that. So yeah, I was there for it.
I thought it was a solid 3 amps of camp for me. 3 amps.
I gave it a 4. She cast her spell on me. I said 4.
Ms. Texas ATX. No, not ATX.
What?
Miss Texas, 1998. Exactly. What do you? First of all, how do you feel about having another Texas who's not from Texas?
Actually, that just adds to the humor. You know, there's like Miss Richfield, there's Miss whatever. I just think it's so funny, the whole concept of her character that is just, you know, their character, excuse me.
Yeah.
Respect where it's due. I love what Miss Texas is putting out there. What they're serving, I'm buying. I just think they're hella funny.
So good.
And as for the pride melt, this is real. It's real. If you have ever done like I said, just coming off of gazillions of pride gigs out in the heat, 100 degrees. They literally gave us a tent with one fan that was this big for 12 performers, and we're sitting there in the baking sun. As soon as she walked out, I got the reference. I laughed my ass off because I just thought this was hella funny, relatable.
I thought this was brilliant. This is so hot, so relatable, and the fact that she just took this drag pride look and just melted it, I thought showed real skill and talent. And
even the prop when she pulled the bow and then the fan was even like a melted mess. I died. I was just
the makeup,
everything.
And I mean, just so incredible. And she sold it and performed it at one gig at an old folks home. Actually, I didn't expect I'd have to dance for them.
That was you. I knew I recognized you.
Yeah, it was me. But by the time I got back to my car, no one told me, but my eyeliner was running all the way down my face. And I must look crazy in a whole bunch of pictures that old people at this retirement center have.
Luckily, they can't see you well, so they were probably like, "Oh, she slayed. She was painted for the gods." You know,
100%. I give this a full 5 amps at a camp. I just love this take on it.
I
so
thought
well
the
constructed.
Concept was hella funny,
and also I thought her stand-up was just spot on. I just
same.
So good. Well, those are the looks. And the judges really seem to like Riley and Rita Taro, and they put them in the top. I was actually quite surprised. I probably would have, it's pretty obvious. I probably would have put Texas in the top with Riley. Do you think they're just trying to balance things out?
That could be. Sometimes we don't want to say that they have an ultimate game plan. We don't want to say that.
No, we don't want to say it.
We don't want to say that. No, anything's a possibility. Who knows? But I do get what you're saying, and as if we combine the comedy challenge, the stand up with the looks, I could also possibly see maybe they could have had a top 3.
Do you agree with the winner, Riley Poppy Seed? Because hands down, I do.
100%. I think this was Riley's episode, from the stand-up, which was hilarious, to the volcano, which was hot. All of it was just right this week.
So then there's, of course, the bottom 3 this week. Dee Dee Comeswell, Tara Newhole, and Muffy Vanderbilt the third. Yes. Is that right?
No.
Hillary. Okay. Then we have the bottom. Dee Dee Comeswell, Avery, good name, Shock, and Tara Newhole.
I didn't really given how strong Avery's stand-up was or whatever. I was a little shocked at that one, but
do you think they just wanted to scare her? Do you think they just want to scare her? It's kind of weird.
You just never know. Is it a production stunt? Was it something behind the scenes that we didn't see in editing? Who knows? Whatever happens, that Dee Dee's not going to be mad about it. Congratulations, by the way, Dee Dee, because they going off to get married, to get hitched or whatever. That was mentioned on this show. So I guess as far as consolation prizes go, if I could get a husband out of it, you can kick me off right now, Yes.
Yes, Dee Dee. Well, we're going to have to say goodbye to her. But before we do, Miss Kitty Litter ATX, thank you for being on Camp Wannakiki.
Well, thank you. And I'd just like to take a moment to give a shout out to my glitter family out there. Hi, y'all. I love you. Mwah, mwah. To all the fans, all 3 of you, I love you. To Slips 1D Productions, just to everybody who's been there for me, and especially to Hillary and Clinica for having me on. I absolutely adore y'all. Big love for what you're putting out there, and big love to all of our Camp Wannakiki family. Y'all keep watching because it works.
That's the truth. Follow Ms. Kitty Litter on her Instagram and on the YouTube. The new Mew review, you never know, it might come back. Even if it doesn't, don't worry. This crazy kitty is always putting out the craziest crap on that channel. Old Madonna, some monster coming out of an egg. It's insane.
Yeah, we're working on some new stuff. Even as we speak, we're hoping to be bringing something out in mid-July. So y'all keep your eyes peeled.
Unfortunately, it's time to say goodbye to Dee Dee Comeswell. We're going to have to sacrifice you to the god of comedy, Ruthie Keister. Bye.
And now we sacrifice Dee Dee Comeswell to the god of comedy, Ruthie Keister.
New animations by She Need This Gig. She really do.
this is Hillary. Hope you liked the episode. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you don't, well, we might just have to sacrifice you to the god of comedy.
Do you want to kiki? Do you want to
Do you want to kiki? Do you want to kiki? Cult Wannakiki, Cult Wannakiki, Cult Wannakiki, 1, 2, 3. Cult Wannakiki, Cult Wannakiki, Cult. Okay, that's enough.